Good morning, my friends. It is about to be 07:30 Wednesday morning, I believe. I think it's Wednesday. Is it Wednesday? Yeah, it's Wednesday. Picking up this customer here, and we will see if we've got ourselves a reaction or a RoboTaxi ride along. So, stay tuned. Does the temperature feel okay for you?
Yeah, it's great. Thank you.
No problem.
I'm happy to be by the ocean. Just arrived yesterday from Philly.
Oh, really?
So it's like just soothing being by the water.
I could imagine.
Yeah.
Like it when you can, if you could buckle up for me.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
They're cracking down on that out here.
Still jet lagged.
Yeah, no, I don't blame you. It wasn't so recently that I found out it was the law in California.
Oh, really?
Plenty
also,
of states it
isn't
isn't.
it the law not, like, in California, are you allowed to look at your phone while you're driving?
No, actually, you're supposed to get pulled over for it. Not that people do.
No, my work colleague last night at dinner was telling me she got pulled over and ticketed for looking at her cell phone.
Yeah.
And, you know, she had to do, like, it was, like, serious. She had to do, like driver's test or something. Like, she had to, like, read a manual and then perform a test. Yeah.
Man.
I was like, oh my God, I don't think they do that in Pennsylvania. But
yeah, I don't know. I know that. I mean, I'm even seeing police officers on their phones, so she must have got rather unlucky to get the stringent cop.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean,
or
it
he
definitely
was in a bad mood.
could be. Yeah.
I also didn't realize I probably should have booked this before. Like, I guess things are more spread out in this area than back home. So, like, whenever I try and get an Uber, it's literally like 2 minutes, you know? And like this one, it was like 13 minutes. And I was like, really? Oh my God.
Yeah. Yeah, you caught me on my way up here.
Oh, really?
And I actually already have somebody waiting that I'll be getting after you. So.
Well, it was like thinking for a long time too. Like, you know, where it's like trying to match me. And I was like, wow, I really didn't think ahead. Like, it's okay. I was supposed to get to the office at 7:30 though, and I just didn't factor in, you know, in almost 15 minutes.
Yeah, for sure.
For people to connect, but out west, I guess everything is a lot more vast.
That and most of the drivers are thinking, you know, like I guess a lot of people do with sort of a mob mentality to go toward the busy city, San Diego, downtown, and airport and all that, which is why I go the opposite way. I come up here. Because I know there's going to be a lack of drivers in comparison.
I like that, playing the, like, counterintuitive,
yep.
Right?
Kind of like going around people that stand in line for no reason when there's, like, a whole open line next to them, but they're all just focused on their little phones or...
Very autopilot,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. It comes in very handy when driving.
It's a good way to be, for sure. Wow. That's great. The road less traveled.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, and at least you can tell the folks at the office that it was Uber's fault.
That it was Uber's fault, that's right.
It's a good scapegoat. Doesn't affect me. I mean, I'm not going to get in trouble.
No, exactly. Like the dog ate my homework.
Yeah, kind of. Except in your case, more irrelevant. Just, you know, give him what you said. Then.
Yeah. Well, no,
I
literally flew in yesterday, grabbed an Uber pretty much right away at the airport. I guess to your point, like they're all just coming to the airport.
Yep.
Went straight to the office, and then you know, had dinner with colleagues. Got back to my hotel, and they were like, "Okay, you know, let be at the office by 7:30." And I was like, totally tracking to time. I just was expecting again, like how I normally have a 2-minute wait, and I was like, "Oh, yeah, I guess I took that for granted."
Yeah, it was like that to an extreme degree in 2020 and 2021 during the pandemic.
Oh.
Those of us who kept driving were making a killing because everybody needed rides.
Really?
But in the time that I've been with you, you would have heard the app queue up probably 10 times already.
Oh my God.
Because people would queue and then re-queue hoping to get a closer ride. And I was like, no, that just buries you. That puts you further back.
Wow.
It's like, if you get a ride, hold it. If you try to, like in your case, if you tried to re-queue after getting me, might have just got me a second time, which I've seen before, where there's like no other drivers and it gives you to me again.
And then it keeps connecting you. That's funny.
And then I get a little giggle.
More just like, all right, it is what it is. Like, you know, like I just didn't sweat it. I was able to pick up a little breakfast jar and make my way outside. But yeah, it's like one of these things too where I think people are understanding when this is literally my first time in Carlsbad. It's beautiful.
It is. Carlsbad is a gorgeous area.
Did you grow up in this area?
No, actually, I grew up in Florida, of all places.
Where in Florida?
I lived mostly in like the central area near Altamont Springs, not too far from Orlando.
Oh yeah,
a couple of years in the Florida Keys.
Oh nice, wow. Yeah, we were just in Orlando I have kids who are at the ages where it's like Disney, Universal is the best, and so and one of my college roommates lives there with her family, so it's great because we have a place to stay and, you know, good friends to see while we're also going to the parks. But my family, some of my family, my uncle and cousins live down in Delray Beach and Jupiter area.
Oh yeah,
which is also really nice. How do you like California compared to Florida?
Compared to Florida, it's more expensive, more crowded, not as good.
Why are you here?
Military brought me here, and then 10 years went by. I'm trying to get out of here. It's just, especially having grown up in the Sunshine State, growing up near beaches, going on cruises, living in a state where you can afford to have a house with a garage. Coming here, it just didn't make any sense to me, the cost of living. Yeah. People will say it's the weather or being close to the water, and I'm like, yeah, only if you're gaslit into thinking that's true. I mean, great to visit. I recommend, it's a beautiful place to come visit, have good food, enjoy time with friends and family, but the second you live here for a long period of time, for me at least, it killed all the magic. Yeah. I was ready to leave 5 years ago, but I've got, a wife in the equation too, and she's not as eager to... She doesn't like it here either, but has a really close friend that lives here, not as eager to leave. And also wants to make sure that we have, 100 things on the checklist done before we leave.
Yeah, which is hard because there's so much you can't control for her, right? You just have to be able to embrace a bit of uncertainty.
That's where I'm at. I'd be willing to take our dogs and our most valuable things and just go get an apartment in a different state and then figure it out. Yeah. And make it happen. Whereas she would rather wait and plan, and I can understand. Yeah. To a degree, but at some point I feel like I'm just gonna have to grab her and be like, let's go.
Let's go. We gotta do it. Now or never.
Tired of setting our money on fire.
Yeah.
It's been a decent chapter to conclude, though. I think, I passed 10 years last year. That's a good amount of time to...
A decade,
yeah. I think that's a good... Close that chapter, open the next one.
Yeah. I agree.
I try not to be too disparaging, though, because I don't want to be a buzzkill for those who are maybe thinking about moving here or enjoying it.
Or I'm here for the first time. It's amazing. I just went for a run on the beach, and I was like, oh my God, this would be incredible to do every day.
It really would.
Right? It's just therapeutic. And then I was jogging by surfers who probably go out every morning, and I don't know, there's something very healing about being by the ocean. But I mean, totally, you had that in Florida. I've never lived by the ocean, so I think when I come, it's my happy place,
Yeah, I definitely, wherever I end up, I would love to be by the water. Yeah. I feel very connected to it. Yeah. I mean, hell, I knew port and starboard before I knew left and right. Because when I was, gaining that early, not necessarily toddler, but young kid intelligence, I was helping my dad with the boat in the backyard. That's how we got everywhere in the Florida Keys. Wow. And you're learning how to tie lines and dock and undock and drive. And
oh, that's amazing.
It was great.
When's your birthday?
It's in November.
It's November what?
20.
Because I'm wondering, you know how they have water sign, horoscopes are earth, fire, water, or air. So I was I wonder if you're a water sign. But do you know even what your horoscope is?
I have no interest. I just personally can't wrap my head around people thinking that balls of hydrogen gas in the sky determine their personality or what their life will do.
I hear you. I think most things, you can find some truths and some falsehoods in what it offers.
I think in a large way, it just comes to the fact that we're pattern-seeking mammals. We can find shapes in the clouds. We can find correlations where they aren't and assign agency to them. That's how
true.
belief systems arise.
We connect the dots in a way that makes the meaning we want it to.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly. I do think so.
The story we tell ourselves.
Yep. And I have no problem with it, as long as that story doesn't harm anyone else.
That's right.
I love the diversity of
Amen to
beliefs and
that.
cultures.
Yeah.
As long as we got each other's backs versus stabbing each other's backs.
Yes. 100,000%.
Well, hopefully you're here long enough to really enjoy seeing Carlsbad and getting some good, authentic Mexican food and all the wonderful things. And great seafood. I mean, it doesn't get better than food right off the water.
Seafood last night. It was incredible. So, yeah.
This is the worst place to do it, for sure.
And especially when I'm here for a work trip, so I don't have to pay.
Amazing, yes.
Right.
Take advantage of that.
I know. I'm like, let me get a nice sea bass.
Live your California dreams.
There you go. All right, wait. Now.
So, top button there. Hold the
Okay.
top button on the handle. It's up here. Up
Oh,
Yep.
here.
And push out at the same time.
Ah. Okay.
Rub
Learn
your
something
belly
new
and pat
every
your
day.
head. And
Yeah, there you go. I'm like, wow, this is quite the. Yeah, I've already learned something new today. So that's
I hope you have a wonderful day.
You too. Thank you.
All right, interesting conversation. Not about Tesla or FSD, but I wanted to share that so you guys can enjoy it and see how I try to friendly or politely bridge conversations that I don't really necessarily want to get into too much because I don't want to make the customer feel out of place or disrespected. But I hope you guys enjoyed that. You know, good conversation, very friendly person. Happy to go on to the next ride here. The system did a good job there too. Let me know what you thought of that. Nice drive through Carlsbad near Oceanside and such. It is a beautiful place up here. And I definitely don't want to seem too disparaging to anyone who does live lovely in California. It's purely my opinion, my personal thoughts on it. And I do want to get out of here at some point and start another chapter somewhere else. I will see when that happens, you know, sooner or later. It's gonna happen. But thank you so much, guys. I'm gonna get on to this next one, and I will catch you in the next video.